Good morning, everyone. Okay, let me put it back where it was. So, in my debris field, I found something else. I was looking for this yesterday. I'll show it to you later. It's a favorite of mine. Okay, somewhere I have a piece of paper that I drew on and I can't find it. Anyway, the thing I'm going to talk about now are doodles. As you know, I fill up page after page after page of test papers with squiggles and doodles and lines and dots and swoops and swirls and swishes and swags. And when I'm at a pen show or I have a pen person here buying pens from me, we go through page after page after page of swoops and swirls and squiggles. For example, here's a page of swoops and swirls and squiggles. These are my squiggles. These are not my squiggles. I don't know whose squiggles these are, but they're not mine. Listen to the sound of that paper. It's delicious. Let's find another page. Okay, here's the same guy, I think it was. Under the spreading. These are me, and these are him. So we're probably sitting at a table. I'm on this side and I'm drawing. He's on that side and he's making circles. And we're talking about pens and we're having fun and we're telling jokes. But I think that there's a beauty in this little page right here. And what am I going to do with it? Put a frame on it? Add to shopping cart $1 million? This was the original writing on the page. 1893, July 28th, special. I don't know what they're selling here. Bale of things. Bales of wheat. Who knows? Almost Gunnar. No, I'm doing well. How are you doing? Here's another one that I can add to. The ones I can add to, I'm going to put over here so I know I can add to them. Look at this lovely one. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with these things. Now you might just throw them away and recycle them. I have other plans. I'm just trying to find one that I actually worked on because I did it right here in front of all of you. Why did I cut this little bit out? Was it a phone number of someone that I thought was cute? Anyway, there was one of these that I turned into a drawing, and it was Mount Vesuvius exploding. and I don't know where that is. Look at this. I know who wrote these. My friend Ben. I recognize his humps. So Almas Gunnar, have you? I don't remember your name. Have you been here before? Listen to the sound that they make. I love how paper used to make sounds. Paper doesn't make any sound anymore. Anyway, back to Almas Gunnar. Almas, we're going to write your name. I don't know if that's your real name, but that's what it says. So I'm going to write Almas Gunnar. That can't be a real name, is it? You've been here before, not too often, though. Well, nice to have you back, Almas Gunnar. Is that your real name? Almas. About my typewriters. Oh dear. I do have about 4 dozen typewriters. I wish I had fewer. Almas is a real name. Oh, well, I didn't mean to make fun of it. Is Gunnar your real last name too? Gunnar is a club, the Gunnar Football Club. Is it football meaning American football, or do you mean British football or soccer? From Hawaii. Oh, Andrew Wertheimer. Anyway, I was just trying to figure out what to do with these pages that I turned one into a lovely drawing, which I cannot find. This looks like a big storm to me. Cataclysmic storm. Okay. Gunner, but put it like Gunnar. Good. Almas. So, Almas, are you a pen collector as well as wanting to see my typewriters? Someone yesterday talked about the tear drop nibs on skylines, and I thought it was the hole rather than the breather hole, rather than that incised shape that they put on some of them, as being more flexible than others, and I don't think they are. So does anyone want to go live with me? Well, thank you, Almas. my my shows tend to be about what lines the pens make rather than what the pens look like. But I wish they had a number 6 nib. Someone, I'm from Latin America. I don't know, Latin, a country all by itself. Videos about the Noodler's Boston safety pen. The Noodler's Boston safety pen, I don't have in front of me, but it's a pen that is made by my friend Nathan Tardif. And it has a nib that would be the size of a standard sort of Waterman number 2 size. But the size of the nib really doesn't make any difference to the lines they can make. I have number 2 nibs that are magnificent in their line quality, the line difference. A bigger nib doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work any better than a smaller nib. There are some exceptions, perhaps, but most. A number 2 nib will do 99% of what you want any pen to do. A number 2 size, which is this size nib. That little tiny nib will work as well as, give me a senior dual fold nib somewhere in my. Here's a number 5 size nib. There's a 2 size nib. So you see that they're different sizes, but this nib can do that. That's its range. This nib can do even more. It can be spread wider. So I think a number 2 is all you need to do 90% of what you want any pen to do. So, I mean, some people like a fatter pen. Some people's hands are humongatoid, or some people that have arthritis can't hold very well a narrow pen. So a big fat pen that has a big fat nib, just because it's a big fat pen, might be better for them, but it won't necessarily make the line that they make any different. So Mr. Ghost, what is your first name? And I'll try to write it pretty. Write it right there. I'm a night boy. What's your first name? Mr. Goche. Germain Orlando Cueva Estrada. So your first name is, I don't know how to say that. Germain? Is that how I would? I don't know how to pronounce that A. Jaman. German. Okay, German. Well, you're all speaking. I'm not a Spanish speaker, so I'm out of your loop. Speaking of words, speaking of speaking, I have another pen to show you. This is a pen set, pen and pencil set, and I call these pens with apps. So I have a fountain pen and pencil set that has spell check on it. Would you like to see my pen and pencil set with spell check? There it is. Pen and pencil and Webster's Dictionary. Here's pen and pencil. Though this pencil doesn't say wherever on it. I wonder if it's a wherever pencil, or I need to find one that says wherever sometime. And here's the dictionary. I did see someone in our Boston Pen Club had the same set, except it was a pen and pencil with a location app on it, because rather than a dictionary, it was an atlas, and I should have bought it, but it was a little more expensive than I wanted it to be. But I thought it was kind of neat. I love this. I love how this thing yesterday that said 1 dozen, and there's only 10 in the box, and the box only could hold 10. But they're lying to you. Bait and switch, who knows what. So this is Popular Webster Dictionary, self-pronouncing. The first words in this are, "This dictionary is not published by the original publishers of Webster's Dictionary or by their successors." So they're just going to take the name and hope no one reads the small print. Blasé, exhausted by excess of pleasure. One of my favorite songs is from the 20s and 30s, and it was called You're Blasé. You reach for the moon, the stars up in the sky, the little things of normal life are slowly passing by. You're deep, you're like a chasm, you've no enthusiasm, you're bored when you're adored, you're blasé. It's such a lovely song. I'm at Blarney. Everyone wants to trick me. They're all out to get me. Anyway, I wish I could have gotten that other Webster. I'm sorry, wearable pen set that had the atlas. I wonder what the atlas was. It would say, rather than Hammond's atlas or whatever the popular atlas companies were back at the time, maybe it would be called the Hammond Atlas, not connected with the publishers of the actual atlas. Nice singing skills. Well, thank you. I do have another song I can sing you. I've got the music right here. It's the alphabet song. You know, the one that goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. That song? Well, these days, kids don't even have to know how to do that. They have spell check. They don't need a dictionary. They just tell their phone what to type. And but if they did have to type, they know only the keyboard, the typewriter keyboard, which is on their phone. So, ready for me to sing this new way the song goes? QWERTYUIOPASDFGHJKLZKCVBNNM. Now I know my QWEs. Next time, won't you text with me? So now we're doing the second verse. So think of texting. IMHOTMITGIFWTF. So these are all abbreviations we use when we text. So in my humble opinion is the first one. TMI is too much information. So we'll start over again. Ready? IMHOTMITGIFWTF. FYIDKLMAOOMG. Now my battery's about to die. TTY. How's that? No hearts, no. Good one, says Almas. Well, thank you, Almas. If I sang it in your language, it would be, where's the part I would have to change? GHJKLZ XCVBNNM. You would hear it every night. Well, I do have on my YouTube channels, I have some times when I sing songs and play the ukulele, and you can fall asleep with me singing to you. One of them is Brahms' Lullaby. So if that'll help you sleep. A lot of people think that or some people have said that my videos are ASMR-ish, or ASMR-y, where the sound of usually quiet or repetitive sounds causes your brain to have some sort of orgasm. But not if I sing. My singing will make it not work. No, I don't. I fall asleep listening to lectures, usually on my iPad, and I just listen to the somewhat boring sound of some lectures, and I fall asleep to them. I don't have a I'm just reading what you said. Anyway, I don't get a brain orgasm. It doesn't work in the ASMR variety for me, but some people think that my droning on here can have that quality. During the Trump reign. Yeah, it does cause one anxiety looking at the news today, and how can you fall asleep if your chest is contracting? During the first Trump presidency, I was sober, and that was not a pretty thing to be. It was not the time to be sober. I'm drinking now again, but it doesn't make it any better. Yeah, it is. You can mention him. You can call him the POTUS if you'd like, or I've changed POTUS, just made it easier to say, just POS. It's descriptive, and does drinking help? I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm going to grab some other pens. Just pick some at random out of the drawer. Well, I'll pick these. This will be kind of interesting. These are 51s. These are all aerometric 51s. So they're of the later variety, the kind that you unscrew the barrel and you squeeze 6 times or 5 times to fill. And though I originally I preferred the vacuumatic filler to the aerometric filler, but these days it's so hard to repair the vacuumatic filler that I prefer these, because these are they never go bad, rarely go bad. They can get clogged, but they rarely go bad. Anyway, during the time they made the aerometric filler, they made, oh, congratulations, Almas. Drinking doesn't help anything. Well, of course they're going to raise prices. Trump's trade war is going to fuck everything up. So anyway, here's the an aerometric. The thing about aerometrics, that they made 2 sizes of aerometrics. They made the standard size and then the demi size, and these were shorter and also thinner. In the olden days, before that, the vacuumatic version of the 51 made a standard size and a short size. And I think the caps on both were the same. It's just that the body was shorter in one of them. Here they make the demi, they made the demi both thinner and shorter, so you can't exchange the parts. What they also made during the demi or the aerometric era were the gold fill and the flighter versions. And these are amazing. And one thing that I have yet to figure out is, why do I like how the gold fill ones fit and work in my hand, and I hate the flighters. And I think if I was blindfolded and people just handed me these, I may not know the difference between them. But the flighters always seem slipperier than the gold fill. They're smoother. They don't have the ridges on them. But there's something about this one that I really, really like, and this one that I really, really don't like. What do you think? Indian kits to change aerometric to cartridge. I don't know why you would do that. Why would you take something that holds a lot of ink already? This holds more than a cartridge would, I think, and just fill it from a bottle. I don't understand why anyone would pick a cartridge over that. So this is interesting. I like this is interesting and weird at the same time. I'm trying to figure out how you can read this. There we go. You can read it this way. So this pen was given to Carl Shackley, and his name is in quotes for some reason. So is that his real name or is that someone else? And then the inscription down here is from his standard drug, and that's in quotes, Associates, 1955. So both his name and standard drugs is in quotes. So was this guy a drug dealer that this was his alias, and standard drugs was the alias for their cocaine cartel? It's cool. I like just thinking, oh, Almas is leaving. Sorry, Almas. Unshackled. Yeah. So anyway, that's neat. What I didn't like about this pen, I didn't like the gold band and the gold, somehow gold and silver, gold and lustraloy anyway. Silver is a little different. Gold and lustraloy seemed to me an abomination. It's like should be in Leviticus somewhere. Lustraloy should have the chrome cap, not the gold. It just seemed better to me. So I took this pen. This is a Franken pen, where this cap belonged on a Vacuumatic era Parker 51. It has a nickel plated clip, which is very rare. And it has this raised band, which is rare. And I think it looks swell when it's put together like that. I've never liked, where did it go? Where's the other one that I just had in my hand? This one. This I just didn't like. I like this because of it's my example of the correct one, and I love it because of the inscription. But anyway, so much for that. It could have been from World War II, but I would think I would have had a lot more of them. I think I only have one in my collection, and I've got, well, a couple 151s. And I would think in the way that I would collect pens or buy pens to fix and sell, I would have more of those. So anyway, 51s. Aerometric 51s. Now, why would someone decide to put their name not in the middle, not where it belongs, but way back here? Is it because they just wanted to see the first name all by itself and not the part of the last name when you put the cap on? Maybe that's why. Carlene didn't want to just be looking down at her pen, Carlene Wag. Is that why? What are your thoughts? Yeah, I like black and gold. No, I think it's real. I mean, I honestly don't know, but I think it's real. Here's one that has a pencil that has the mailing address of the owner, 62 Barbaro Road, Waltham, Mass. There's one that I have. It's a Schaefer pen from 1930, and it's engraved with the owner, the street, the city, and the state, and the zip code. And the zip code wasn't invented until the 60s, so it was a late addition. Yeah, I don't know if it was engraved by someone that didn't know about pens. I once had a pen engraved, sterling pen, 100-year-old sterling pen that we were giving to a person that helped us build our building. And the pen shop downtown, which had been in business for years and years and years, I asked George, the owner, the manager, or the owner, the old repairman that worked there. I said, where can I get this engraved? Where do you get your pens engraved? And he said, well, go to the jeweler's building and we use XYZ company. So I went to next door and I went to the XYZ company and gave them the pen and gave them the name. And I brought it, when it was done, I brought it to show George, the pen guy, and he said, they put it on upside down. So I said, what the hell do you mean by that? Well, I'll show you what they meant by that. So this pen, when you're holding it in your hand, writing with it, you see the name correctly as you're writing. When you put it, if you hold it like this in your hand with the cap on it, you see that it's upside down. So in his mind, you're meant to see it this way, the name this side up. But the one that I had done, the name was upside down when it was in this position. And 9 times out of 10, when you see a pen with a name engraved on either the cap or the barrel, you see it in this way, where you read it this way, where this is correct. Yes, I think that's true, Kim. Kim is saying that 51s are great because you can almost find one you don't have. I would like to do this with some pens in my collection, and 51 would be a good example of that. I think an easier one might be the Parker Dual Fold series. And I'm excluding all the fancy overlays that they sometimes had people make and put on these pens. But the Parker Dual Fold came in maybe 10 different colors throughout the both series of straight and streamlined versions. You know, the red, the blue, the green, the yellow, the black. Red, meaning orange. Green, lapis, lapis, yellow, black. Is that the 5 colors that came in only? Then when they went to streamline, and then you had black hard rubber and black plastic and red plastic. So you had 2 variations of that one. And then when they went to streamline, they added, they also had the modern, the pearl and black. Forgot that one. And then I think these were always pearl and black, but when they went to streamline, they had pearl and black and pearl and green and blue and red. And so, you know, and then they had the sea green and the, I don't know, some other, the red and black marble. I don't have a 50 Falcon, sorry. So there is a way, I think, with a dual fold to maybe get every size. You had the 4 sizes. See, I'm getting confused already. You had the standard sizes, you know, the senior, the junior, and the ladies, but you also had the senior special, dual fold special, which was the length of a senior but the width of a ladies of junior. So you had those. Hey, Keshav. Kim is from the early part of the Midwest. He was Midwest before any of us were Midwest. He's from Denmark. So is Denmark considered Scandinavian? I think it inches that way. It's aiming in that direction anyway. So with 51s, you have the same sort of limited color arrangements. And then you had all the different kind of caps they had. And you have the double jewels or the single jewels. You have the first year with the aluminum ends. There's all of that kind of stuff. So you might end up having, now let's say, where is it? There's a 51 cap that's called the heirloom cap, and it's probably the rare, or in the Empire cap. They're pretty rare. Does every pen in your collection, you need to have a black pen with the heirloom cap and a black pen with the Empire State cap, and you need a green pen with that and a green, so I don't know whether, yes, if you needed one with all of the variations, you'd be up with hundreds and hundreds of different pens. I thought this was an heirloom cap, but it's not even an heirloom. Oh, it is. It is an heirloom cap. You can barely see the horizontal stripes on this one. There you see it. This is called heirloom, and that's a rare cap. I'm getting hungry. I got up at 3 in the morning today. Call me crazy. So I'm going to be taking a nap sometime this afternoon. Tonight I'm doing something new for me. Well, new in a long time. There's down the street from me, there's a huge studio space that is having life drawing, not a class, but just life drawing sessions. You pay $15, you walk in, and you get to draw a naked man or a naked woman for 2.5 hours for your $15. And I'm going to go do that. Except I'm not gonna, if here's my iPad or my piece of paper, if it's this big, and you would draw the model, like this, or the boobs and the belly and the legs and the feet. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to draw the model way in the distance there, and then in the front, in the foreground, I'm going to have all of the students drawing the model. Because it was really cool there the other day. There was a forest of empty easels, and it was really cool. And I thought, well, I wonder what it's going to look like when they're full. And so what I might do is do a basic drawing like this, maybe 3 different compositions. I'll walk around the room and pick 3 points. So the model will always be in the middle, this big blob of pink flesh. We'll pretend it's going to be pink. It can be other colors. And then surrounding it will be all of these different easels. So I'll maybe do 3 basic drawings, and then the model probably will be changing their pose every 10 minutes, every 20 minutes. Maybe they'll have one pose that'll be just an hour long. That'll be half hour maybe. And then using this format, I will then go in and draw the model in the middle, and then I'll draw versions of the same model, drawing in different ways that I draw on the little rectangles that you see. And then I'll do that from a different angle. And so I'll be doing 1 drawing of the model and also 3 little drawings of the model, 3 or 4 little drawings. So that's my plan. I'm trying to be clever. Hello, D'Angelo. I will be holding my iPad, and I'll be standing, I think, most of the time. and I have an iPad Pro, the smaller of the two sizes, so I'll be using that. So it's not all that difficult. I might sit down sometimes and draw it, depending on if there's a chair for me. I could bring a chair, I guess. Maybe I'll bring a chair just in case. I want to be behind people, though. I don't want to be blocking anyone. So I will, again, if here's our room, and it's a huge room. They got bleachers here, three, things where people are going to be sitting. There's bleachers here. Here's where the model's going to be. And then they've got chairs and easels everywhere else. And the chairs, some people stand and draw. Some people will sit down and draw. When I taught people how to do life drawing, I would say, okay, everyone stand up. The model was standing, and I said to the people, stand up, and then start drawing. And everyone stood up, and they're drawing while they're standing. They understand better what it's like to draw a standing person. I think you sort of feel the energy better. One of my colleagues in grad school, when everyone was on break after the first hour of class, he took all of the chairs in the room and put them in the storage room, so people had to stand. They didn't like it. They went into another classroom and brought chairs back because they're so fucking lazy. Yes, I know you're D'Angelo Demetrius Vickers. I know your names. Wakar Wakas. So what happens here? I draw people. Yes, Vickers airplane. So anyway, I'll be standing on the outskirts. I'll be like Halley's Comet. I'll have this view. I can't stand behind here because there's a wall, but I can wander around like this to get, maybe I'll have three views in this direction. Maybe there. I'll see. But I'm planning on, I'll just show you the drawings I did of the place. I'll be right back. Okay, here's my iPad. Oh, I didn't see the flag. Let me just see here. Oh, it has the moon and the star. So some Middle Eastern or Arabic country, I would think. Pakistan. Okay. So what is your first name? Wakar? Is that your name? Wakar Wakos? So here's my iPad that I'll be drawing on. So I created a series of, so here's some of the drawings I did of the space that we'll be in. So here's empty chairs. There's a sea of empty easels. Turn this off. Sea of empty easels. Same group of easels. So these easels would be, there'll be a person at each one of these, and there'll be a tablet or a canvas or something. And another one here. So my plan is here's my cunning plan. Whether it's going to work or not, I do not know. But let's say here is my, let's say here's a template of what it's going to look like, one of the drawings. So here I've got, the model's going to be here in the middle somewhere. And then there's going to be an easel here with a sketch pad on it. There's someone else here, maybe sitting down. There's their head. There's their easel. There's their chair. And then there's going to be maybe someone here drawing, and then there's going to be a bunch of people in the background drawing. So let's say this is my template. And then here's one canvas, here's the other canvas, here's another canvas. And then let's say, and this is just a layer. And then the model picks a pose. I'll make the model this color. And then I'll draw the same model in different styles on each of these canvases. So let's say I'll draw with line. Well, I don't know if I'm going to change my tool, but someone's going to draw with short little lines, someone's going to draw with big lines, someone else will draw differently here. So, and let's say this is a 10-minute pose. Well, I can draw 1, 2, 3, 4 different images in 10 minutes. That's not hard for me to do. And then we pick a different pose. So now the pose is this one, where the model is sitting down. That's supposed to be the ass on the ground there. Here's the foot and the foot. They're sitting down. So then I'll draw it 3 times over down here, drawing it differently. Right? And then we'll have a different pose. So at the end, you're going to see, different drawings. So that's my cunning plan. And I'll have 3 different templates. One will be from one corner, 3 different corners in the room. So at the end of the day, I may have a bunch of different things here. Well, draw something from real life. Start with something that isn't moving. I draw the figure. I do lots of different kinds of drawings. I'll just show you how one of them might work. Trying to find one that shows how I drew. Hold on. I think I maybe, okay, what is this one going to be? Okay. So this is a drawing I did of this chair while I was at the dentist. There's the dentist chair. So here's how I drew it. I draw shapes and then I draw other shapes on top, working light on dark, dark on light. And Memphis. Cool. So I can draw realistically. Let me show you what realism looks like in my book. I have many different iPads, so and that's a drawing of a glass of beer. It's a drawing of a penis. Can I say penis? Well, I just did. So here's, I go to a local bar on Wednesday nights, and I sit at the end of the bar looking toward a screen. On the screen is projected what I draw on the iPad. And I do this at trivia. So I illustrate the question. And you see me do this drawing was about inoculation, a vaccine. I don't remember what the question was, but it shows, the syringe going into the purple body and taking out purple blood or putting in purple medicine or something. So I do the drawing in maybe a minute. And I kept the background the same. So I just, normally you don't have the bar, you just have the picture I'm drawing. But in this case, I wanted to show what the bar looked like. So here was one question. Another one, this was a question of some sort of singing group. Or it might have been which of the three actresses won the Academy Award, or I don't know what the question was, but that was the illustration I did for the question. I've been to Philly. I've been many times. I've never been to any of the other places. This one, this question, I remember it had something to do with Jewish folklore or Jewish people or Jewish something, and it was about talking. And so it was oy vey was what I wrote, one of them saying, but I don't remember what the question was. This was a question about Monopoly. So I drew the Monopoly board with the shoe and the top hat and the thimble and the dog. I don't remember what the question was. What ingredient is not found in a particular pie or a particular quiche or something? So potatoes, peanuts, milk, or fruit. I don't know the answer to the question, so I try in drawing it to give the right answer. This was, and I forget, I think it might have been a true or false question, and it was about salt. And who, it was, maybe it was the highway department of transportation or whatever it was, is the largest consumer of salt in the United States. True or false? So here I have the truck pouring out the salt on the ice. So it's NaCl us. This had to do with some sort of flight from the United States to Europe or somewhere in Africa. And why is it a rocket? I don't remember. Why did I make it a rocket? Some people think my drawings look very much like a photograph that I just altered. And that's very nice of them to say, but I look at them and I think there's nothing remotely. Okay, here's some clouds I drew on my trip across the United States. Flying from Minnesota to Boston one day, I looked out the window. I was doing lots of drawings of the clouds. So here was a drawing I did of the clouds. And I spent maybe 3 minutes on this one. I don't know, maybe 10 minutes on this one. And I looked out of my window and I saw a plane go by, and we were this close. Sorry. It was that close. That plane seemed a lot closer than it should have been. So I was a little startled. My brother used to work for a company, a photographer for a company, and all of their beautiful lights that they had to illuminate the products that they were selling. So here I made this little animation where you see the photographer snapping his pictures. I don't, I was there in Philly. I was there only for a weekend at a time for a pen show. So I ended up really not spending I guess my brother liked it. It wasn't him that I was photographing there, but I think he enjoyed it. What year was my first visit? It was probably 40 years ago. But I stayed with a friend that lived in one neighborhood, and I would walk to the pen show, and it was maybe a 15-minute walk. So I didn't really see a lot of Philadelphia. So I'm not the person to ask. Certainly there are a lot of brand new buildings put up, but I don't know whether the climate of the place changed. Oh, thank you. So if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I have a number of Instagram accounts, and you can follow the one that is the most versatile is just my name, Pierre Gustafson. So look that up. PierGustafson. And I've been doing a lot of figure drawing lately. And so you see a lot of nude men on that. And I don't show the junk on that one. I censor it if I do, or I do drawings that are less erotic. Can I use that word? Oh, Hemingway Jones is from there. I know he lives very close to Boston, and I've invited him to come and visit me, and he never has. I think I might intimidate him. I think we're polar opposites. He's very neat and very tidy and very precise, and he loves the way the pens look more than maybe how they write, where he focuses on how they look rather than how they write. I did meet him. Well, I said hello to him in person once at the Boston Pen Show, but he was too busy talking to other people to come over to say hi to me and, close up. But I'm hoping I will meet him sometime. I didn't realize he was from Philadelphia originally. Yeah, we are very, very different. I think in many ways. I suspect he's more conservative than liberal. He's certainly very tidy. I'm a slob. Our videos are very different. People rarely see what I look like, and they look at my dirty hands and my sloppy desk, where his videos tend to be his looking at his face, which a lot of people do. A lot of, Mr. S.B.R.E. Brown, whatever his name is, you're looking at his face for 3/4 of the video, and then you look at the pen at the last quarter, which is not how I would do it and not how I do it. Why didn't I answer? Okay, well, part of the thing is why I don't answer is I'm answering a question that came before yours, and maybe your answer, maybe I didn't even see your question, because when you type, the text goes up and it's covered, so I have to scroll back. So you talked about taglines of our states. I don't have a strong opinion on that. I know that Minnesota is 10,000 lakes, land of 10,000 lakes, home of, I don't even know what it says now. Land of 10,000 lakes, I think, which is not accurate. It's more like 100,000. Some of them are little tiny lakes, but more than 10,000. Wisconsin was called the cheese state, I think, or the dairy state. And during a contest of how to maybe make the state more tourist full, someone had suggested smell our derriere, meaning smell our dairy, new word air, fresh air, smell our derriere. But of course, smell our butt is what most people hear, smell our derriere. Wisconsin might be, I mean, I don't know what's on there. There's some that, like the Hoosier state, who knows what a Hoosier is, but there's that. The Sunshine State, it could be the Hurricane State or the Peach State or all these other things. I don't know. I don't know what Massachusetts is. The Badger State, yes. Well, the smell of a farm, of any sort, well, especially a farm that has animals on it, you smell lots of smells, and some of it involves the smell of moist shit cow pies that are in the pasture. It's a very distinctive smell. The Bay State, yes, okay, the Bay State. Oh, I'm sorry about the doing taxes and being cranky. I can't name all the states in one go. There is someone that does a really good job, and you should watch him do this on YouTube. It's the ex-senator from Minnesota, Al Franken, and he draws a map of the United States, and he names all of the states, and he explains why the states are shaped the way they are because of this river or that Great Lake or this treaty between the Mason-Dixon line or whatever. He goes into the history of why the states are shaped the way they are. I think it's really, really fun. So what car did I, yes, Al Franken was very funny. I'm really, why a picture of him pretending to grab the boobs of a woman made him quit, while Donald Trump can say, grab him by the pussy, and he gets elected. I guess maybe there's a lot of women out there that like to be grabbed by the pussy. I don't even know how you do that. Well, rambling is part of the stuff. So Mr. McGoke, go watch him do that. I could show it to you right now. It only takes about 3 minutes, but I'll let you find it. Anyway, I have a number of accounts on Instagram. One is my name, Pierre Gustafson, and there's other Instagram accounts that I have that are more directed. So here's Pierre Gustafson, my Instagram account, 4,000 posts, and some of them are drawing the figure. Here I'm drawing a merman. Some are drawing part of a figure. Some are drawing, this is a portrait I did of an artist friend of mine who has been a guest on my show here. So there's that. And then I also have pen and hard hat, which you can find by going from the first one to this. And this is a set of drawings I did of the construction of a building next to me. I was hired by the building's construction company to illustrate the building of the building. And I didn't want the hard-hatted workers to see the naked men that I drew, or other art that doesn't have to do with building. So there's that. Then I have Artist Aboard, and these are drawings I do when I'm up at the lake and we're, going out on the pontoon boat, and we're going out sailing, and I'm drawing the clouds. I'm making fish out of cardboard boxes. So I have one that's specifically for summertime at the lake. And then I have a last one, drafting drafts, is my drawing at a bar. So here was the bar I go to. Here's a band playing, and they were on break, and I drink a beer. then it goes back to them playing again. So I have those. And then I also have one for that I won't tell you about. But if you want to know, you can send me a text from one of my other accounts if you want to. The hard hat wasn't a double meaning in this case. I've not played the dinner party game with Wakar. I don't even know. Wakar, what's your first name? You want to watch me try to doodle a map? It's not going to be good, but I can try. I'll do a poor man's version of the state senator. I draw the USA a lot when I'm doing when I'm doing the quiz, because there's a lot of what state in the USA has the most mosquitoes or something. I'll draw the entire shape of the continent with a big question mark in the middle. So I'm going to just start out roughly with, there's Minnesota with this little bump. Here's sort of the thing there. Then it comes up here to there, comes down to Massachusetts and Long Island and whatever it does here. Then you've got those things. Then you've got the big dick of Florida. Then you have, the bits there. Then you have Texas. Then you peninsula. Then you're up here with the little crinkly bits there. Then you've got Alaska and Hawaii. So what do I do here? Okay, so here's, I never remember which, I know Texas looks like, I think it looks like that. But every once in a while I have this part high and this part low, but I think it looks like that. Okay, so we have Texas, Oklahoma, Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin. Then you have the upper peninsula of Michigan up here somewhere. So there's Michigan, right? Wisconsin, no, that's not Michigan. How does Michigan work? Wisconsin is next to Minnesota. I went to school in Wisconsin. Then there's Illinois, because you cross over to Illinois. Where's Michigan? How does Michigan work? This must be Michigan. Pennsylvania, New York State, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New York, you have Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Florida. How am I doing? Yeah, Greenland will be the 51st state. Fuck. Okay, then down here, then there's Kansas and there's Missouri. Oklahoma. Okay, back over here, we have North Dakota, South Dakota. Wyoming, Idaho, Washington, Oregon, California. Then you've got the four corners. You've got those four things: Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona. Over here somewhere. Kansas, I think, is here. I think this is Missouri. Maybe they're connected down here. I don't remember. Over here you have, Louisiana, Mississippi, stuff there. You've got the Virginias, Kentucky, Tennessee. What's above Florida? See, this is the mushy part for me. I don't go down here very often. Maryland, Washington, D.C., Pennsylvania. I had that already. Pennsylvania is pretty fucking big. Anyway, Georgia, Arkansas. Yeah, all of those places are a little unknown to me. But watch Al Franken draw this. He starts, I think he almost starts up here with Minnesota, and he works his way up and then works his way back down. Then he works up here, and he talks about the history of the states and the rivers that divide the borders between the states. He's really fascinating. And then he goes and he says, going this way, it's easy. Well, it's not as easy as all that. There's, this has 10 states and this has 40. So yes, it's easier in that sense. And the borders are maybe a little simpler, but I always get confused as to, is it New Mexico and Arizona, or is it Arizona, or is it New Mexico and Arizona? I think so that's where I get North Carolina, South Carolina, DC. Well, DC isn't a state, but yes, Virginia. So again, all of that stuff is in here somewhere. Anyway, I think I did better than Donald Trump could do. I wouldn't think he would know how to start. I got a golf course here. I got one there. They're all beautiful. They're beautiful people. Beautiful, beautiful golf courses. People. I don't understand. You should go there. Go play golf. Right. So Wakar, is that your first name? Is Wakar your real name? Is he still here? Did he run away? You're still here. And I've forgotten, Mr. McGulk, you did tell me what your name was, and I've already forgotten it. There were 4 names. 4 names. Was that Mr. McGulk that had 4 names? I'm getting confused. Play more golf. Well, I just learned that federal workers have to work at work. They can't work from home. So Trump won't be able to go to Mar-a-Lago anymore. He's a federal employee. Oh, that's right, German. German. And where's Wakar? Do we have his name? Is Wakar his real name? Yeah, I remember one was Estrada. One of his 4 names was Estrada, so I have half of them. Something. Maybe Wakar went away. So Andrew, sometime we're going to get you live on here. You're going to brush your teeth, comb your hair. You don't even have to. You could be naked for all I know. We're going to have your camera looking down, and you're going to be writing with pens. Okay. Okay. 2 first names and 2 last names. So, Germain, what I play here is a game called Dinner Party Game. It's not really a game. It's just you get to invite 6 people or 8 people total. You're one of them. So you invite 5 people or 7 people to a dinner party, and they can be living or dead, but they have to be real people, have been or are in fact still real people, and they can all speak the same language. But magically, they speak the same language, but they can be anyone. So who would you invite for a fun dinner party? So you can think about that. You don't have to answer now because I have to eat my breakfast. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll play again another time. Bye, everyone.